Welcome back. We're going to do our third lesson today on probability, and this lesson is simply titled Probability. But first, let's look at some fractions. I did warn you in class that we will have some fractions to deal with. So let's convert the fraction to a decimal. So on a calculator, when you do questions like this, what you need to do is just do 1 divided by 4. And this will be 0.25. This 2 divided by 5. 0.4 is what you will see on your calculator, or you can write it like this, 0.40. 7 divided by 25 on a calculator will give you 0.28. 9 divided by 20 will give you 0.35. 43 divided by 50 will give you 0.86. And 13 divided by 25 will give you, what will it give you? 52. 0.52. I have two pencils. How can you determine which is longer? Well, you can just look at them. Look at them. Okay, let's see where this is taking us. Probability is the branch of mathematics that studies how likely events are and expresses this likelihood in numbers. The measure of the likelihood of an event is called its probability. So let's have a look here. Total number of regions. Well, let's do a little like just shading in for the people who like this type of thing. You can hit the arrow on your keyboard if you want to skip through this. Shouldn't take more than 5 more seconds though. Okay. So total number of regions. Well, I see 1, 2, 3. So 3 regions. Ways to spin red. There's only 1 red and there are 2 blues. The regions are all the same size, so it is equally likely that the spinner will land in any of the 3 regions. Since 2 regions are blue and only 1 is red, it is twice as likely you will spin blue than spin red. Okay, so what is the probability of spinning red? So I am not going to color them all in. I'm just going to do the color of that it's saying, so red. So let's look at red here. Here's red. And as you can see, the probability of spinning red here is likely. In this one here, what is the probability of spinning red? Well, this one would be unlikely because it's a 1 in 3 chance. So back to the first one, you have 2 over 3 for red. Here it's 1 over 3. And if you were to do the decimals, these are the answers you would get. I know it doesn't say to do this, but I'm just going to do it anyways. Here on C, there is no red, so it's impossible. And why is it impossible? Well, 0 out of 3 is red, and when you divide 0 by 3, you get 0. This one over here has all reds. So in the past, we would say this is certain that we will land on red. But let's look at the fraction. 3 over 3. When you divide 3 over 3, the answer is 1. And in probability, you cannot get a higher number than 1. Let's look at this one over here. E, red. Red is shaded in. There we go. So red, there's 2 over 4 equals 0.5. So in this case, we would say even chance. Or you may have seen it written as evenly likely. Okay. In class, I don't care if you use even chance or evenly likely. It's literally saying the exact same thing. Let's color this one. It's going to be a little messy because my Apple Pencil is not that fine. So there are 8 total sections in the spinner. 6 are red. That's 0.75, giving us a likelihood of likely, or that's the event, that's the probability. What is the probability of pulling a marble of the given color from the collection without looking? So I will shade this one in for those of you who like shaded in stuff. Sometimes it's for those people, people who like this, it's just easier to visualize. So this is why I'm doing it. If you are colorblind though, the letters will help you and these colors will not interfere. Hopefully they won't. So first thing you need to do, what I recommend that you do, is to count how many options there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10. So I like writing this on the side. So for yellow, I know there's 10. There's 1 yellow. That makes it unlikely. Blue, we know there's 10. And we have 1, 2, 3 blues. Again, unlikely. Red, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 over 10. It's also unlikely. And green is 2 over 10, also making it unlikely. So now they're all unlikely, and I know what you're thinking. Well, why is red unlikely? It's the greatest chance. Red is the greatest chance, but there's a 4 in 10 chance that you will get red, but there's also a 6 in 10 chance that you will lose. Okay, so lose. Here, there's a 9 in 10 chance that you will lose. Here, there's a 7 in 10 chance that you will lose, and here, 8 in 10 chance that you will lose. Okay, so this is why they're all unlikely. Which color are you more likely to spin? Red or white? So let's color these in. Okay, let's do this here. And this one's a little bit tricky. And red is here. So white we don't have to color in. So let's have a look. Well, how many total regions are there in this spinner? I know you're going to want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is wrong. If you recall, you have to make all the sections even. So in this case, 8 is correct. So there are 8 regions. Red is 1, white is 2. Okay. And then blue, if you're curious for blue, even though it does not ask, blue would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 for blue, and then you add them all up, you get 8. These fractions are meant to measure the likelihood of spinning red and spinning white. What fraction should be greater? Well, this is basically telling us what was wrong, and what was wrong is that these are not even. So you have to make it even. For probability fractions, for a probability fraction, sorry guys, all events must have outcomes that are equal in size. That is, the regions on the spinner need to be the same size. So what is the probability of spinning either green or blue? So let's go back to the coloring here. Let's just color. I had red ready. So let's get red colored in. Let's go green next. And there's another green here. Next is blue. Last but not least, our friend yellow and white. There's no white anyways here, so not that I would do it. But anyways, what is the probability of spinning either green or blue? First thing you should do, look how many sections there are. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sections. Write it down. So for green, we know there's 8 sections. There are 2 green. Blue, we know there's 8 sections. There is 1 blue. So the probability of getting green, you can write it like this, 2 over 8, or if you do the decimal, and this one here would be 1.0.125. Both are unlikely. Okay, so when you're dividing, the smaller the number means the less chance that you have. Okay, what is the probability of spinning a color that is not red? So let's go back here, color this in, green, here we go. I'm going to do this really quick so we're not wasting too much of YouTube's space on their servers. Not that I care. They can afford it. There you go. And what is not red? So again, count the total. There's 8. 1, 2, 3 red. So there are 3 reds, meaning there are 5 non-reds. So there's 5 of the other colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 over 8. So it's likely, and if you do the decimal, 5 divided by 8, I'm doing this off the top of my head, so if it's wrong, I'm sorry. I think it's 0.625. And finally, our last page, once again, let's get the colors going here. I know it's the exact same spinner, but it's nice to see the colors for some of us. I like seeing the colors too. Oh, I missed a green. And you would think I wouldn't miss it after doing it 3 times, but it happens. So here we go. Use the spinner to find the probability. Once again, there's 8 outcomes. Write down that there's 8. Spinning either yellow or green. Well, there's 1 yellow and there's 2 greens. So that would be 3 over 8. And if you get the decimal, it should be this. And it's still unlikely. Spinning a color on the flag of Canada. Well, there's 8 in total. Red and white are the Canadian colors. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 8 equals 0.5, which would mean this is an even chance. Not spinning blue. Well, there's 7 non-blues. That will give you that decimal, which means it's likely. Remember, all these decimals, you just do it on the calculator. So for this one here, 3 divided by 8. This one here, 4 divided by 8. This one here would be 7 divided by 8. Spinning a color that is neither green or white. So green and white make up 3, so there's 5. 5 divided by 8, 0.625. That number is pretty good. That is likely. So if the number is, let me write this on the side. If the number is greater than 0.5, so you can also write this as 0.50, 0.500, the event is likely. Okay, and let's continue this up here. If the number is less than 0.5, the event is unlikely. Whoops, I spelled it wrong. Oh my god, long day. Sorry guys. Unlikely. If the event is 0, it means impossible. If the event is 1, it means certain. Again, oh my god, I can't even spell today. I promise you I do not make these mistakes in class. Well, I probably do, I just don't know it. And if it's 0.5, even. Okay? If you guys can remember this here, and you remember this here, the unit becomes a lot easier. Thank you for sticking along with me through this long video. I appreciate it. Your work will be posted in Google Classroom. If you're watching from another place, from another classroom, thanks for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye-bye.